Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. We have with us, as always, world-class trainer and mentor, Abel Sanchez. Abel, how are we doing?
I'm doing well. Ingram, how are you?
I'm doing great, Abel. First of all, congratulations on a sensational win over the weekend for Gennady Golovkin.
Yes, he did well. We got the knockout that we were looking for, so we're extremely happy about that.
In the first round, Vanes came out. He came out quite ambitious. Did you expect him to be that ambitious?
As he said.
Yeah.
As he said he was going to do.
And he did.
And he did. I train in another Armenian fighter who is a cruiserweight, WBA cruiserweight champion. And these guys have this warrior mentality. They never say die. They're just going to go. And I knew that if he was anything like my cruiserweight, Vanes was going to come at us. And he did. And it proved his undoing, but he did exactly what he said he was going to do.
The first round was interesting. He caught Gennady with a good shot, and he seemed to catch Gennady's attention.
Oh, no, definitely. But and Vanes, Gennady let him do a little more than I guess he wanted him to do. And when he come back to the corner, I just had to settle him down a little bit and ask him to work a little more in combinations, to settle down, because he was a little tight. Okay,
and in the second round we saw the destructive power of Golovkin ending the round in devastating fashion.
Yeah, but it came in combinations, though. It came in punches that weren't really killer punches. It just connected 9 or 10 punches in a row, and that's going to hurt somebody, always.
The uppercut was very interesting. From where he threw the uppercut to get himself in position to throw those shots was very impressive.
Yeah.
You know, that's...
very awkward way to throw it, but he likes throwing it that way at times when he sees that they're dipping over to that side. He's very adept at doing that.
I did notice when he threw the uppercut, just technically, when he threw the uppercut, he wasn't in position himself to actually get countered. It was beautiful the way he threw the uppercut. He actually got inside of Vanes, threw the uppercut, and then got his punches at the angle. That was something that is a credit not only to Gennady, but yourself on the pads, because that's something I'm sure you've worked on time.
Yes, but it's something that, unfortunately, you're landing that one, but you're not in position, really. You're out of position to land another one in case you can hurt somebody because of where your position is, where you're not going to be countered, but you're also putting yourself out of position. But sometimes you got to pick at a guy and pick certain spots just to land shots, just to land them, just to prepare other things.
So that combination that he actually finished Vanes off with, from a trainer's perspective, is that something that you would have said you would have worked on the gym, or is that something that Golovkin would have kind of brought his own creation to afterwards?
We work on everything in the gym. That combination, what hurt Vanes was the counter right hand, because Vanes was a little lazy with his shot, and Gennady came over the top, and that hurt him with the first one, and that set up really the sequence, I guess, of punches, I guess is a good word, sequence of punches that he threw. He wasn't trying to land a big shot like he was in the first round. Like you noticed, he threw a couple real short, small jabs, a couple short little right hands, just to set up other things. He did exactly like I asked him to do, not to load up and allow himself to get into a rhythm.
So from the performance from yourself as a trainer and as an astute trainer, where do you rate Gennady's performance on Saturday night?
I would say it's an 8. We have to consider what was in front of us, but he did exactly what we had worked on, what we had talked about in the gym. The things that we worked on are to prepare for the future, not just necessarily this fight, but the counter right hand is something that we worked on considerably a lot in the gym for this fight, because we would have fought the redhead, we would have had to have countered things. So we were trying to work on a lot of different type of counters.
Okay, from the now that Vanes is out of the way, and you know, again, he did bring a fight to Golovkin, and all the credit well for him to do that. He mentioned something I caught passing that it's a warning. Like, he set a warning out to Canelo and to other fighters around the world. That's the reason why so many fighters go down the way they do, or respond to punches the way Golovkin throws them. that's the way why they respond the way they do, because he said that's the hardest he's been ever hit in his career.
Well, when a guy comes to fight, I think that we have lost that style of fights that we used to get in the 80s and early 90s when Oscar was fighting, when Ray Leonard was fighting, when Thomas Hearns and Marvin and Duran. It wasn't toe-to-toe fights, but it was fights where you were fighting at a distance where you had to make sure that you worked on your defense close by, you worked on your inside game, you worked on your outside game, but not at a distance where it was a desperation punching that you were doing. You were working actually at a distance where you could both hit each other, but you could also use your skills, your defensive skills, instead of running away, instead of making it more of a defensive fight. You fought an offensive fight with skills, with defensive skills, and we've lost that. And I think that Von is a little reckless, got a little reckless with himself and got caught. But those are the kind of fights that fans come to see. Look, there was 77 or 7,800 people at this arena that night, and they all knew when they bought the tickets, expensive tickets. They all knew what was going to happen. But they came to see Gennady. They came to see Gennady fight the way that he fights.
Yes, and credit to Gennady.
I think that's a testament to style.
Absolutely. While I'm on the subject of style and fighting styles, do you think social media, Instagram, Facebook, these things are hurting boxing because boxers are spending more time on these social media platforms than they do in the gym? What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. But not only the fighters, though. I don't think it's so much the fighters, but the criticism, the critics, the cynics. Oh my God, there's not a performance that's not criticized, whether they win or they lose. You know, not everything's going to be perfect all the time. Not every fighter's going to have a perfect fight every time. There's no wrong style, there's no right style. The wrong style is a style that doesn't sell seats. The right style, regardless of how it is, or regardless of which style it is, as long as they put butts in the seats and sell pay-per-views, that's the right style. So whatever era we're in, if the fans are buying it, that's all we should care about. We shouldn't care about how bad or how good he looked. As long as we're selling, is because we have to remember we are in the entertainment business.
Now
we are entertainers.
Absolutely. Keep going, Abel.
Go ahead. But so if we're an actor and we make a bad movie, people are not going to go see it. Now the next movie may be a great movie, so people go back and see it. But we have to remember that people have to remember that fighters are not going to have a great outing every time out. They're going to have their bad days like everybody does. But they still train for 10 weeks. They still train the same way. They still spar the same way. They still do all the things to prepare. So when we get this criticism, and I'm not just talking about Golovkin, I'm talking about fighters in general from all over the world. They get this criticism from these people that have no clue what these fighters go through, have no clue what it takes to be in the ring because they've never done it. But it's real easy to get on a keyboard and criticize when they have no clue what these fighters are going through to not only to prepare, but to discipline themselves and dedicate themselves to something that takes them away from their family, takes them away from any kind of education they could ever want to have, because these fighters are not in college. This is their college. So if they don't make it, unfortunately, they have nothing to back them up. So when people start criticizing and making these fighters feel like crap, I think it's detrimental to our sport. I don't understand. Why can't we just watch a fight for the enjoyment of it, regardless of how it goes or who's in it?
That's society we've got today. People have got a lot to say. I guess social media has given a platform for idiots to say what they've got to say. It's made idiots famous, to be honest.
Yes, I noticed that. But that's the point. They have something to say, but they have no clue why they're saying it, or have never experienced it. Now, if Roy Jones or Ray Leonard or Marvin Hagler or Larry Holmes, any of those fighters from the past have an opinion about a particular fight, then that's because they've been there.
Yeah, of course.
They
Absolutely.
have a platform to speak up from. But when you have these, as you call them, idiots that are on a keyboard and have no clue what these fighters are sacrificing to get to And it doesn't matter if it's my fighter or any fighter. I'm just talking about any fighter. Whether you like them or dislike them, whether I like them or dislike them, they go through the same process that the ones you like go through also. They go through sacrifices, and they go through pain, and they go through loneliness because they're away from their family. And it's just sad to see these people tore down like that. But
Abel, I think you are very much underestimating the power of media, because you're talking about people are keyboard warriors. These keyboard warriors are empowered by some promoters. They're empowered by other media outlets, irresponsible media outlets, irresponsible reporting. This is what's going on today. So these keyboard warriors are responding sometimes because of the irresponsible reporting and irresponsible journalism that's out there. And there are some that they've never boxed before, and when you ask them, some of them have never broke a fight. If you ask them, they've never broke a fight down in their life. They've never taken a punch in anger. And there's some fantastic people who have done that. But some of the bigger names, I'm not mentioning names, that have never got in the boxing ring, that they get a lot of adulation for, I don't know why. And then you look at some of the things they say, and people say, well, he said it, so if he said it, it's got to be true. But you look at the content of some of it, it actually fires up some of these same keyboard warriors. You've got to ask yourself the question, where are these keyboard warriors getting their empowerment from? They'll listen to a promoter talk rubbish. They'll listen to a manager talk rubbish. Sometimes a fighter talk some rubbish. So it's all, and remember, trash sells. So we're in a society now, Abel, where trash does sell. If me and you can have a conversation, and I can say something disrespectful to you, and you say something disrespectful back to me, then that sells. Abel Sanchez said. You know, that sells.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, you know. It's unfortunate because all we're trying to do is make a living. All we're trying to do is entertain. And like I said, whether you like the style or you don't like the style, now that I have been critical of particular fighters and critical of, it's because I'm in the business. I'm in the business, and I'm critical only because they're comparing them to mine, or they're matching them against mine. And if they're matching them against mine, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't equate to a good fight for mine, because it doesn't make any money. That's how I've been critical, not because their style is something that I hate. It's just it's not conducive to me making money, and that's what I'm in this business for.
Okay, two things. First of all, this boxing business is becoming very much like WWE. Honestly, you've got people.
Yes, you're right.
You've got people coming in. You've got people walking into rings, calling one another out. Negotiations being done via Twitter and Facebook. And money's been, talking money via Twitter. What happened to things behind closed doors? Where's all that? What happened to all that?
Unfortunately, these things that we don't know. Really, very few fighters that are guilty of that. What was guilty of that is these, as you use the word, irresponsible media that wants to guess at something. Well, so-and-so's getting so much, and so-and-so's fighting on this day, and so-and-so said this, because the opponent is not doing this, and it's not going to happen. They want to be the first to be reporting something that they have no clue about. There's things have been said about Canelo fighting so-and-so on a particular day that were so far from the truth, but it's hard to argue because then you're giving them ammunition.
It's amazing when people outside know more about what's going on inside your gym with your fighter and yourself than you do.
Ain't that right? Yes, you're right. That's what I'm talking about. What happened? I didn't get the memo.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. So, I mean, I can't tell you that I haven't been critical of Gennady in the past, because I have been. But the performance he put on Saturday night is exactly what I kind of want to see from Gennady. Look, the guy's moved up in weight, and he hasn't fought for 2 years. I want to see Gennady go out there and do the business. And he did just that. Unfortunately, he did it to Varnes, who I like as well as a fighter. But he did the business. And that, you can't say anything about that.
Yes, but there was a lot of criticism. And you mentioned some writers that are big writers that had a lot of criticism regarding Varnes. Do you realize do you realize that Gennady has fought 3 elite fighters in a row? From Brook to Jacobs to Canelo. So now, if we continue to fight elite fighters, we're going to be fighting Joshua next year. There's not that many elite fighters.
Well, hold on.
What do we do at that point?
Hold on. I heard a rumor that there was a possibility that Golovkin would move up and fight Joshua. Is this true?
Anthony's too small for him. No, but check this out. But so in everybody's career, every great fighter that you've ever known that has had a career and has had a lot of fights, Leonards, the Haglers, and all those, they all had their Vanes Martirosyan's. Unfortunately for our situation, the circumstances regarding this fight weren't by our doing. We were forced into this situation by what happened to Canelo's test. But Ray Leonard fought the Davy Boy Greens from your neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
The Andy Hawk Price, he fought the Bruce Finches. Hagler fought the guys that he was supposed to beat. So did Larry Holmes. So did George Foreman. No, all those great fighters had those fights that weren't necessarily the elite level. But you know what? These guys can't fight elite fighters every time out, or they won't be fighting. They won't be fighting because they will run out of elite fighters. And the elite fighters do not want to fight each other, really, because there's other things that they could be doing. Yet, even though we didn't fight an elite fighter, 78 or 7,780 people paid very good money to go see. We broke the money record for the StubHub of any fights that been at StubHub for gate receipts. Okay, it wasn't a sellout, but gate receipts were higher than any other fight that has ever been at the StubHub. Now, saying that, there's still 7,800 people that went and paid good money to see Golovkin fight, not to see him fight a marquee name. They knew what was going to happen eventually, whether it be the 4th, the 2nd, the 5th, or the 6th. They knew that Vanes Martirosyan maybe was not at the level where he was going to give Golovkin 12 rounds, but yet they still paid. So the entertainment value is what people are looking for, not the mouthy, not the negotiations to take 8 months, and a fighter only fights once a year. They want to see their fighters, their preferred fighters, fight as often as possible to entertain them.
Okay, you can't knock that. Can't argue with that. It is what it is. Let's move on from the fight. So what's the latest situation with Canelo now? Is Canelo next? I'm hearing rumours that now Golovkin said he'd fight Charlo next. What is this? What's going on? You tell me, Abel.
Golovkin never said he'd fight Charlo. Golovkin said he'd fight everybody. Whomever, Tom, and whomever comes to the table with intention of fighting. Okay, Canelo right now has some issues. Canelo right now has some issues with the testing. Oscar has said many times on the social media that he's testing every day. He's still not enrolled in any kind of testing, at least not here in the United States, where it has to be. By being suspended by the Nevada Commission, it takes him out of their jurisdiction. In other words, when he got suspended, that means that they have no jurisdiction over him. That means they can't test him. So what you're telling me is that in late August, he's going to apply for a license with, what, just, I'm a good boy, give me a license. That's all he's got to do. That just seems insane to me. But, so by doing that, I imagine that the fight's being pushed even further away. Because we're demanding that he's tested. We're demanding he's tested now. He gets his license in late August. The fight's September 16th. How long is he going to be tested? 3 weeks? That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, let's break this down.
That doesn't make any sense.
Most people believe that the only reason why Canelo has not been given the full treatment, the full royal treatment of having a life ban or maybe banned for a few years, is because he's a superstar in boxing. If he were Joe Bloggs, he'd be banned.
It should be. How much did Dylan White get over there?
I'm not sure. I think he got a year or something like that. Yeah, something like that at least.
I know it.
But
and maybe he made a mistake. That Canelo made a mistake. But you have to. Doesn't matter whether you're a 4-round fighter, an 8-round fighter, or a champion fighter, or the money man. You have to be treated all the same because you're all taking the same risk.
Sure, but they're saying there's too much money to be made in Golovkin, Canelo too, and that's the reason why the ban is the way that it is. It should have been a year ban, but it got 6 months.
The Golovkin team says, do what you have to do to make sure this sport is clean. The Golovkin team and Golovkin has said this is a sport. It's not about the money. Sure, of course, we want to make as much money as possible, but we need to keep the sport clean for today and for tomorrow, for the future of these boxers that are stepping through the ropes.
Well, let me ask you a question. If you felt that the Canelo was not clean, as Golovkin has mentioned or quoted, or people are saying he said, I've got to be careful what I say here. If Golovkin has said, oh, yeah, well, you know what, I thought he was unclean in the first fight, then why didn't you mention it before the fight? If you had suspicions. Why didn't you ask him to be tested then?
Golovkin is not the one. No, he was being tested before. But understand that all these things go in cycles.
Right.
Okay? You can cycle off, and then you're not going to be positive. Okay, but when you're being tested when you didn't think you were going to be tested, maybe he hadn't cycled off yet. So, but it's difficult to accuse anybody of wrongdoing until they do it wrong. I mean, you're accusing someone without any proof. He provided us the proof. So now we can go back and say, we thought because of this and this and this, or as Gennady said that he thought, because doctors have said to him, not because he thought, but doctors have said to him and sent him pictures of things that he thought were some kind of guilt photo. But Canelo gave us that ability to do that by testing positive. Now, it behooves him, Canelo, to not only for this fight, but for the future, to prove to all of us that he's a clean fighter. But the only way you're going to do that is not by staying home and hiding. The way you're going to do that is by going out and getting tested. If you're going to go out on a date with a girl and the girl says to you, I need to make sure that you're okay, and what are you going to do? You just tell her that you're okay? No, you're going to go out and get tested.
Abel, you do come up with some stories. Now, two things here. The hair follicle came back negative, and you were quoted, again, I don't know if this was Abel Sanchez you or Abel Sanchez somebody else, but Abel Sanchez said...
No, let me tell you what I said, in case you're going to tell me something different. I'll tell you what I said.
Okay.
I said this. Let's just say you're my fighter.
Yes.
And you just tested positive, and we made a mistake, or you made a mistake by eating this damn meat that gave you this drug, and we know that you and I both know that you are a clean fighter and you're innocent of what people are accusing you of.
Right.
Now, everybody says that this hair follicle test is the thing to do. Okay?
Yes.
This is what's going to clear you as a fighter. So you and me are going to go tell the world that we're going to go take this follicle test, and when the results come back, we're going to announce them, because we know that they're going to be negative. That's what we would do, right? We would announce it that we're going to do it. Why would we announce it? Because we're confident that it's going to be negative. Why wasn't this announced only after the results came out? Because maybe they thought it was going to be positive?
Well, you asked for according, again to this quote, let's see the hair follicle. Let Canelo do a hair follicle test.
Okay, but Ingram, announce it when you're gonna do it. Don't announce it once the results come out. In other words, what I'm saying is, if the results had been the other way, they wouldn't have said that they took the test. Okay,
so what you're saying now, are you happy with the hair follicle result or not?
No, because you should have told me that you were doing it so that everybody knows. Not just me. You as a fan are saying, oh, that guy's going to go take that test. Good, let's wait 2 months to see how that comes out, or 2 weeks. Let's see. You know, you as a fan are expecting this guy to be forthcoming with everything, not to hide it until the results come out.
Now, let me ask you this. You're Mexican, correct?
Yes.
Canelo's Mexican, correct?
Correct.
Now, do you not feel it anyway? Is it an in thing between yourself and Canelo? Is it a Mexican thing there going on? Because there seems to be some underlying stuff there between yourself and Canelo. Is it?
No, let me tell you this. I think that this sport needs to be colorblind.
Okay.
This sport needs to be a sport between fighters. Between fighters fighting each other. It does not matter whether you're Armenian, Mexican. I've had one of my best friends is in the Hall of Fame. His name is Terry Norris, and I've been accused of being a racist.
I remember that. I remember that, and I was shocked.
Okay. This sport needs to be colorblind. This sport, every one of those boys that steps to the ropes are putting the same risk on their body and on their lives and on their families that the yellow, the blue, the green, everybody does the same thing. They're all putting the same risk. They're all training the same way. They're all gaining the same amount of money. They're all, or not in perspective, they're all sacrificing themselves in the gym. Doesn't matter the color. Doesn't matter whether you're in Africa, whether you're in Puerto Rico, whether New York, LA, Mexico. It doesn't matter. It's still the same thing.
I agree.
There's too many people making this sport a racist thing. It's not a racist thing. It should be a colorblind sport where the best fighter is going to get supported by whomever wants to support it.
I agree, and it's not a colour thing. It's more of a cultural thing. I'm asking the question from a cultural perspective. You being a Mexican trainer, and you know, Canelo being a Mexican fighter, then that's why I'm asking the culture, not in a racism way, the racist way. But I want to know.
Understand this. I have 9 other fighters in my gym of every race, color, and creed.
Right.
9 other fighters. I want all my 9 other fighters to make sure that they step into the ring and through the ropes in on a level playing field.
Right.
Where everybody is the same regardless. The only way you're going to be better is if you train better, if you have a better system that you're being. Because a lot of great coaches out there that just don't have the fighters to be able to develop. But there's a lot of great coaches out there that once they get a fighter, they become. They don't become great coaches, and fighters become great fighters because they were already good coaches. But my 9 fighters that I have, I want them to step to the ropes, whether they step in with a Cuban, Puerto Rican, Mexican, doesn't matter, African. I want them to step to the ropes knowing that the other guy is doing the same stringent, not only testing, but sacrificing like we are.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me the color or race.
Yes, but I appreciate that, and I understand that for people who are listening in, the people have got ideas and they've got perceptions. So when I do these interviews, it's to break down those perceptions and to really get to the meat and bones as to what's going on. Because media, again, give a perception and say, well, this is what this is the story, this is how it is. And unless I ask you the questions, then we just follow what the narrative is.
Right.
You understand? And that's why I'm asking you the questions, so you can give me the answers that you give me. So thank you for that, Abel. So moving on. Oh yeah, you're a bit of a star now, aren't you, Abel, with that commercial?
Okay, look. when we become somewhat of, how can I put it? Anyway, when you become a so-called celebrity or so-called somebody that's seen on TV often, I think that you open yourself to criticism, because when you do something wrong, you have to have white shoulders. When you do something right, everybody's praising you. But when you do something wrong, you gotta expect people to talk shit about you. That's just the nature of the beast. So when they did that commercial, I had no clue, honestly, what the premise was to it. But obviously, when they started doing the meat thing, I knew there was going to be involving some kind of meat situation. But I didn't know how they were going to do it. But Canelo opened himself to that by being a so-called celebrity, a champion fighter that's in the media. So you're open to that kind of criticism.
What were your thoughts when you were tucking into the meat?
I thought it was funny, really. I went through 4 steaks, and they did it like 30 times the takes, because I had to keep cutting the steak and keep saying the words, and then they were going to cut it together and piece it together. But I thought it was kind of funny. I thought it was funny because you made a mistake. Now we're going to ridicule you for it. Now we're going to make fun of you. Why? Because you're there for that reason. You're a celebrity.
Are they going to test you afterwards, Abel?
It wasn't Mexican beef. It was LA beef.
It's LA beef. Is that clean as well?
Yeah. It's clean, yeah.
Okay.
It's just smoggy.
What did Golovkin think of it all?
He wasn't there. He was upstairs doing something. I was there from 1 to 4, and he came in from 4 to 8. I think it was he did his stuff up on top later.
Oh, okay.
With me, obviously, because of the mids, but he wasn't there. He didn't know.
Okay, so when you both watched it back, looked it back, what was your thoughts about it?
Thought it was funny. Thought it was cute. You know, nothing. It's nothing personal. If this is a way of building up the fight for both guys, you have to take it that way. I think you have to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, it's just part of the business.
It started off probably as both guys being fiercely competitive. This could turn out to be one of those real bad blood grudge matches in the rematch.
You know what? From what has been said, what has been done by not only myself, but Golovkin has said some things, Canelo has said some things. I think they're pissed off at each other.
Yeah.
And you know what? For the fans, what better situation?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, okay, we move on. If Canelo's situation is not sorted out, and obviously you and Team Golovkin Team Golovkin are talking about Canelo being tested correctly and properly, and you're not happy about it at the moment, then if Canelo's not on the table, and how could you refuse a Canelo fight with so much money? And I know you're going to say, well, you know, at the end of the day, we want him to be clean. If that's not on the table, then who else is going to generate that money for you? Or are you prepared to go ahead and take on the other names of the division?
Well, first of all, I think that there's some legal issues that have to be ironed out with the IBF regarding their situation. That's one. Two, Canelo's not off the table completely until he says he doesn't want to fight. And how he's going to say it is by refusing any kind of testing. I've told you once before, there's a lot of ways to turn down a fight. There's a lot of ways to say no to a fight. By not doing what the norm is now in these kind of fights, which is the testing, then it may not happen. But as I said a little while ago, if his license is going to be given to him, if we're looking at this fight for September,
yep,
if his license is going to be given to him at the end of August, what kind of testing is being done until that point? And the fight is 3 weeks later. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I know you're going to say, well, what about the money? And what about it? People are going to say, what about the money? Golovkin's not going to turn it down. No, it's got to be fair, man. It's got to be fair for everybody, not just this fight. Again, I have 9 other fighters in my gym, and I want, if this is precedent, then it has to be.
Okay, so you as a trainer would put your foot down and say, no, we're not having this fight, and this guy's properly tested.
Absolutely. The contract is going to say that. Our contract that we signed with Golden Boy the first time, and our contract that we signed with Golden Boy, I asked, the first time was 8 weeks or 7 weeks testing. I asked Tom this time for 10 weeks. And guess what? He got caught in the 10th week.
Wow. Okay. All right. So what are you going to ask for this time? 15 weeks? What are you going to do?
No. It should be now. No, it should be. If you're trying to prove to me, you Ingram, trying to prove to me that you are clean, or you're a good writer, or you're a good interviewer, you're going to prove it by deeds, not by talking.
Yeah, I guess so. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Or to the fans. When Oscar comes out and says he's being tested on a daily basis, the WBC comes out and says he's a clean fighter. How? He's not enrolled in VADA. VADA has said he's not enrolled.
So, what sort of perspective, or how does this look on the WBC?
You tell me. How do people look at that? How is that? Now we go back to the cultural thing that you said a little while ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It has to be even for everybody.
Now, what's his name? Lucas Bryan got suspended, didn't he? Povetkin? Fury?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
That's 4.
So I know, but they're not here in the U.S. and they're not
superstars.
Culturally the same.
There,
I don't know how to put it.
You see? Yeah, so we come back to it. We have to come back and visit it, Abel. Now, the other thing is, a young man who's just been caught with similar situation down in South Africa, James Alibisha's fighter, Ruan Vissa. He's looking at potentially a 2-year ban.
Really? Really? No, I didn't know that. I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, that's
wow.
Yeah,
Well,
2-year ban.
They're making an example, but they're making an example of a fighter that's under the radar, a fighter that not a lot of people know, a fighter that is not going to open the eyes of other fighters below
That's
him.
Exactly. He'll get the book thrown at him, but Canelo will get 6 months.
Yes,
That don't make no sense.
That's sad. That's sad.
It's sad. Okay, so in terms of the future now, so let's say you don't get Canelo, who would you take on at this point? And how realistic are guys like Charlo? Because people want to hear where this thing with Charlo is, because he's talking and he's saying he wants to fight. And what did you think of his performance?
No, he's waiting to buy a lottery ticket. Is what he's waiting to do.
He's waiting to
do. Why? Jacobs has called him out, and yet he's meek and doesn't want to take the challenge or say to Jacobs, no, I don't want to fight because of this and this and this. Jacobs is not only in person but on the social media has called him out. Why isn't he as vocal against Jacobs?
But he might think, but he might say to himself, well, you know what? Jacobs got beat by Golovkin. I want the main man.
Well, then prove that you can handle the big man by destroying this guy first, and then now we got a mega fight instead of a regular fight.
So what do you make of Charlo's performance? His last fight?
Against a guy that quit against Julian Williams? You talking about that guy?
I'm talking about the guy who just got plastered in 2 rounds.
Yeah, the guy that quit against Julian Williams.
Okay.
That's the guy I'm talking about.
Okay, that's the guy there, okay.
Yeah. So how come there was no criticism done of that? And that was for the mandatory, that was for the eliminator. Really? He quit against Julian Williams, gets knocked out by Selecki, and he's the, what do you call it? Not the mandatory, but the eliminator. Makes no sense.
Okay.
Makes no sense.
So you'd like to see Charlo fight Jacobs first, and if he beats Jacobs, then he'll come for you, guys.
That's a mega fight now. Now you're talking about a real fight. Why? Because if he destroys Jacobs, then, wow, he's going to destroy Golovkin, because Golovkin had a hard time with Jacobs, everybody says. So now if Jacobs beats him, then we know that what I've been saying is that he hasn't qualified at that level to be fighting at that level in the middleweight division. Then we know that he's not ready for that. He may be ready eventually, but he's not ready yet if Jacobs beats him. Okay? But if he beats Jacobs, well, now we got a mega fight.
What do you make of Billy Joe Saunders, WBO champion? He's got a defence against Martin Murray. Now there's talks about him fighting James DeGale at super middleweight. What are your thoughts about that?
I think he's a very good fighter. I think all these guys that we're talking about are very good fighters. They just have to understand how. Look, I go back to the 7,800 people that showed up at the Stub Hub to watch what everybody understood was going to happen. Okay, they paid very good money. We set the gate record. They paid very good money. Could that happen to Billy Joe Saunders too? No. Could that happen to Charlo? Absolutely not. Could that happen to Jacobs? You saw how many people were at the Barclays the other day when he fought. No. They have to build themselves up so that Golovkin is not the one carrying the promotion.
But in that case, then, Abel, if that's the case and if that's what you're saying, then nobody will fight Golovkin because nobody will have a profile.
No, they will. Look. At the beginning, Golovkin fought 3 or 4 times a year. We fought for nothing, Ingram, for nothing on HBO. We got nothing almost. Okay, I know because it was my check that was nothing, next to nothing. These guys are waiting around for a lot. We fought to make ourselves viable. We spend I myself last year spent close to $60,000 on merchandise that I give away with Golovkin's name on it. Why? To promote, to make ourselves bigger, to make ourselves known. Do you see anybody else doing that? Look at the internet after Golovkin's fight and look at how many articles the next day were talking about the merchandise that was being sold at the venue. And that's by Golovkin's Golovkin's merchandising and Jordan. I make stuff with my gym name on it and my fighter's name on it, and I give this stuff away. The hat that you see, that's all my cost. But that's building our brand. That's building our fighter. Do you see anybody else doing that at the fights? Look at the crowd at the Stub Hub. It was probably 50% of the crowd there had merchandise on.
Wait.
That's how you have to do it. That's how you build a fighter.
Well, I ain't got no hat. I got no Golovkin hat on my house. You need to send me one of them hats.
You're in England. You in England. You have Joshua? Don't you have a Joshua one? Joshua does the same thing.
I guess so.
Doesn't he? And who else does that? And who else does that in England? Nobody.
Okay, fair play, fair enough. Okay, but wait.
What I'm saying is that these guys have to understand. Let's take the IBF #1 contender.
Yeah.
You know who his last fight was against?
No.
A 22-22 guy in an 8-round fight, and that qualifies him to be the #1 contender. Could you imagine if Golovkin did that in a defense? We'd be crucified.
Okay, next. So he's at one side. Next, Abel. Andrade.
The same thing. How long has it been since he fought on a main event on a network where people see him so that we can sell him? Now, let me tell you somebody that is doing exactly what I just said in Japan is a young man, the WBA champion named Ryota Murata, who was the gold medalist in the last Olympics. He's doing exactly what I'm talking about in Japan. He sells out arenas in Japan. So, if you're asking me, that's where I want to go. That's where I want to go. I'm gonna be there where a guy is actually helping with the promotion.
So Murat's a fight you would take on then?
Absolutely. That would be my choice to be fighting next for all the reasons I've already explained.
Well, see, that's the story that's been reported that Golovkin will face Murat next.
Murata is his name.
Murata, yes, Murata. Sorry, Murata. That's I'm talking about the footballer, Murata.
In fact, he won the gold medal there in your country, I think, didn't he?
He may well have done.
Yes, I think so.
There you go.
So.
Yeah. So, and how does he match up with style with yourself and with Golovkin? Do you say?
He's a WBA world champion who's got probably 16 or 17 fights now. Look at his record. He's beaten some American fighters, decent, not great American fighters, but decent American fighters here, just like all the other names you have mentioned to me already.
Okay.
But he's got the marketing behind him to be able to make a fight that's profitable for everybody concerned. That's what we're doing in this business. We're not waiting for a lottery ticket.
Okay, so you get that fight. Now Golovkin's not getting any younger. So if you're waiting for these guys to promote themselves, the Saunders, the what's his name? I mean, but Saunders is on TV. He's on Box Nation.
Yes. The problem with the Saunders fight, let me tell you the problem with the Saunders fight, and I wish that more people would be willing to look at the writings or the things that he's asking. He asked for $6-7 million to fight Danny Jacobs.
Okay.
How the heck is that going to be possible? One, so that's a way of turning down a fight, and two, what's he going to ask to fight Golovkin? Joshua money?
Go. If you want to be undisputed champion, are you prepared to make any concessions?
No, we're not prepared to give the bank away. No, you can keep the belt.
So then, what about this potential move? You moving up to super middleweight?
No, I think that's something that once all these avenues get exhausted, I think that's a move that he may make. They've talked about Ramirez.
Yes, that was talked about.
Top Rank has talked about matching Ramirez with him, and Ramirez is building himself a fan base and a base that is going to be profitable for everybody.
Okay.
He's fighting regular on TV. Aram has got him going regular on TV. But now listen, if we were to let's just say let's do it for instance.
Yep.
We fight Murata sometime before the end of the year.
Yep.
We fight one more fight, and then those possibilities of those things that you're talking about are for the future, for next year.
Let me sell you a fight.
Wait. What is your vision, or what is your thought? Do all those other guys fight before then, or do they wait for that lottery check?
They should be fighting. Clearly, they should be fighting. But That's my point. I've got a better proposal than the one you're proposing at the moment. My proposal is for Golovkin to move up to super middleweight and face the winner of Groves, Callum Smith at the Super 6, Super 8 tournament.
You know what? That being the tournament and that being the best super middleweight, that is a fight that probably Tom would talk to whomever he has to talk to over there. Because everybody at that level, Andre Ward now now is talking about coming back and fighting Bellew because Bellew called him out. Why did he retire? Because there was no more challenges for him at that weight. There was no more challenges for him. Okay? Floyd Mayweather will come back if he has that mental challenge. Somebody gets to the point where it's a mental challenge, not a physical challenge, a mental challenge, and it's a threat to him. He'll come back. Just like Andre's kind of talking about coming back and fighting Bellew. Why? Because if you don't have those challenges, then there's no reason to be training. It's not about the fights. The fights are not the hard part of this. The training camps are the hard part. These guys kill themselves in training camps for 10 weeks, and the fight is really the easy part. So when you're asking me about the winner of that WBSS, then you know what? That would be a challenge. That would be supposedly the best super middleweight in the world, and as I'm sure that's something that Tom would discuss with whomever he has to discuss with. But that's the future. They would be part of discussions, I guess. That's my kind of marketing strategy. If I was moving with Golovkin, I'd say, you know what? We take on this fight against Murat, and we see who the winner is, the WBS is, and then whoever the winner is there, that's going to give us a great platform to fight the winner, because they would have got, a lot of recognition to fight the winner there and pick a belt as well. Why not? Right, and not only that, the winners are fighting in England, right?
Yep.
Supposedly they're fighting the finals there in England.
Yep.
2 English guys fighting in England. Can you imagine how big that's going to be? Can you imagine the winner against Golovkin, how big that would be?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
See, I understand that.
Marketing, that's what I'm talking about. Merchandising yourself and making it a brand thing.
Yeah.
It's not just about a fight anymore at that level.
See, we could talk business, Abel. We could talk business.
There's a lot of possibilities out there. It's just a matter of guys coming together and understanding their position and understanding what they bring and what they don't bring.
Gassiev, what's going on with him in terms of training and the Usyk injury?
He's in the gym. He's training. He's been training now for about a month and maybe 5 weeks.
Okay.
We knew that the 11th was probably not going to happen. Now they're telling me that on May the 20th, in fact, I read on one of those sites that May the 20th, the Russian Federation is going to announce what they have come up with. In other words, if they have made a deal, if they haven't made a deal, if it's still going to be Saudi Arabia or whatever the results are, May the 20th. So I guess it's in 14 days or 15 days, whatever.
Okay, and I guess you've been studying Usyk.
Usyk has made it publicly known through social media that he's not going to go to Russia. I don't know how that would be handled. I think Camosa, the promoters, the Sauerland people, they're the ones that dictate and tell us where we go and how we do and when we go. It's under their contract. It's in their contract, I should say. It's under their supervision, and they're the ones that decide where we go. So I don't know if he refuses. That's up to him. I imagine, and the way that it works is they go down to the next guy.
Your comments the other day was picked up by the Ukrainian news like wildfire when you made that comment about Usyk and Bashir and Gassiev. They really picked that story up.
Well, when I talked about Bashir, I talked because I know what kind of coach he is. I'm not trying to blow smoke up anybody's butt. You're asking me a question. I'm trying to be honest with you on what I think. It wasn't necessarily what Usyk and his people thought, but that's what I thought. We'll see how he does in his fight and see if he made a mistake.
Do you think you can capitalise on the fact that Usyk's getting hit more in his career?
He fought a different fight with Bradis because I didn't think Bradis was a threat to him. I don't think he'll fight the same fight with Garcia.
Okay. Abel, is there anything else you want to let us know before we close? Oh, Bellew and Hay, your thoughts?
Bellew could be an opponent for Gassiev or Usyk, whoever wins that fight in the future. I think that Bellew puts himself in a position to have another mega fight for himself and for England.
How does Bellew do against Gassiev, in your opinion?
He gets knocked out.
Why'd you say this?
Because Gassiev is the best cruiserweight and is going to be a heavyweight champion also.
How does Gassiev do against the likes of Joshua and Wilder?
Right now that as being a heavyweight and put weight and strength on him as a heavyweight, then I think it's a very good fight. He's already sparred with Wilder. He's already sparred with Klitschko a 3 years ago. So I know that he can have guys.
Wow, that's something. That is something for us to savour and look forward to. Well, is there anything else you want to let us know before we disappear, Abel?
No, just thank you very much for having me on, even though you're very controversial. I'm just kidding. I think that rhetoric. I think the rhetoric like this needs to be taken in a way that we have an opinion like everybody else does, but understand that our opinions are coming from the experience with our fighters and the experience with the situations that are around our fighters. A lot of people don't always know what's going on around a fighter. They assume that they know, but sometimes it's so far from the truth. But I would wait for things to come out factually, and then we can make opinions about them.
Abel Sanchez, as always, thank you so much for talking to BWTM.
Thank you, Ingram. Have a great day.
You too. Take care. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.